before I set this off, I do want to give Benny his props for making it to the top of this rap game and getting that mainstream recognition without having to sound mainstream and without having to veer from his original sound. It's not a feat that most rappers can pull off, so shout out to Benny for that. What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Muff. If you are rocking with this content, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hitting that like button is greatly appreciated. But today, I'm going to be hitting y'all with my thoughts on this new Benny the Butcher album entitled Everybody Can't Go. This is Benny's Def Jam debut, and it has been one of the most highly anticipated rap albums of recent memory. Yeah, we know Benny set the bar unreasonably high by comparing it to It's Dark and Hell is Hot. But hey, I mean, you got to talk your own stuff because who else is going to talk it for you? But this new project contains production from two of the hottest and best producers in hip-hop. That's HIT-BOY and The Alchemist. And what they did was they split the production duties down the middle like Kanye and Pharrell did on Pusha T's It's Almost Dry. This contains 12 songs lasting approximately 40 minutes. But with that being said, let me just go ahead and hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. The opening song, Jermaine's Graduation, is an instant highlight with a fantastic beat from Uncle Al. There's thumping drums, strings, and dazzling pianos. Benny raps, there's a story behind that name when they call me the Pyrex Man. And on this track, he also talks a little bit about how his mom and his aunt struggle with addiction. There were some boastful bars too, like, ask these rappers shit that I did upstate just help make them hot. When I invite them to the lab, they scared to play what they got. I also like the coke bar. They reminiscent of me speaking Morse code to connect. Yeah, this was a great song, but I did find the following bars to be really cringy though. I'm shitting around these pussies just like an all-gender restroom. I mean, Benny, I don't think that was a visual that we really needed, bro. But it was a fire opening song nonetheless with a great beat from The Alchemist. Track 2 is the triumphant Anthem Braun, produced by HIT-BOY. And you can tell that Benny was trying to create a record that would have that stadium status, championship feel. And I think he succeeded for the most part. But there was something about this track that felt slightly unfinished. Maybe. I still like it, but I think it needed either a feature or another Benny verse. The energy is there, and it will get you hype, no doubt. So I don't have major complaints with it, and it definitely slaps in the car. Track 3 was Big Dog with Lil Wayne, one of the biggest singles that had been released last year, so I won't talk about it too much. I like the moody reverse loop from The Alchemist. Wayne had a crazy ill performance, so yeah, this was a banger straight up and down. Track 4 is Everybody Can't Go, and it has some strings and heartwarming soul chops. There was a sung hook from Kyle Banks that wasn't bad. As a whole, it's a solid motivational track, but it ended up being my least favorite. Like, it's not a bad song, don't get me wrong, but that Trump line at the end, it was pretty cringeworthy. But track 5 though, TMTL. This is one of those ones. The acronym stands for Trust is More Valuable Than Love. We get 3 very dope storytelling verses from the Butcher on top of 3 icy beats from The Alchemist. So if you love storytelling and if you love those beat switches from The Alchemist, then this will likely be one of your favorites too. On the 3rd verse, Benny was talking about getting shot in Houston a few years back. And there was somewhat of a chilling get back tone that is suggested at the end. If you know, you know what he was getting at. But I really dug the following lines. Small time petty thief, crash dummy pedigrees. Might think he a gangster, but he nothing like the Genovese. After this is Back Again with Snoop Dogg, and it's a dope East meets West Coast trap. With a chilly boom bap beat from Hit-Boy, there was high energy and neck snapping. We got some cool flow and cadence switch ups from Benny that was welcome. So yeah, overall, this was a hard hitting but fun track that I have no issues with. Following this is One Foot In with Stove God Cooks, another single that was released back in 2023. This also contains some Hit-Boy production. There was ultra gritty and minimalistic. It also features a dope verse from Stove God, who comes through with that slick talk. His verse is just dripping with that charisma. But Benny was really talking on this one, and I dug his hook as well. Like, the following lines really stood out. Everybody can't go and you probably won't make it. I whipped that powder to glaciers and found the oasis. My history is street dealer, narcotics on paper. Next is Buffalo Kitchen Club with Armani Caesar, and it has a trap-like beat from Uncle Al that I thought was fire, but I already know some people don't like hearing Benny over this style of production. While I can say it's not an essential track or even a standout from this album, it does serve its purpose in being that laid-back, vibe-heavy kind of record with a good beat. Immediately after is Pillow Talk and Slander with Babyface Ray and Jadakiss. Now this actually is my favorite Hit-Boy instrumental on this album. I just love the regal mafioso strings, and there was something about this beat that reminded me of a modern day version of something a Def Jam artist would have had back in '98. I also like the guest feature performances from Babyface Ray and Jadakiss, and it was cool how you had 3 different generations of rappers here. There was some jewel dropping from Benny and Kiss, especially with Kiss with dudes from the sandbox turn into your rivals because they watch you put that work in, then they feel entitled. What comes next is the gem How to Rap, and Benny really puts on a master class of rapping over this rugged hornback beat from Hit-Boy. The way Benny was rhyming here did harken back to Hove in '97. It's a really dope conceptual track with great rhyming on display, and Benny is giving MCs a manual on how to blow up, but also how to survive in the treacherous music biz. And I really dug the questions that he posed at the end, like, how they gonna weigh out your legacy? How the critics gonna judge it? Is your chapter gonna be legendary status when they shut it? The second and last song is Griselda Express with Rick Hyde, Gun on the hook, and Conway, and it's another high point on the album. We get a rich, elegant, cinematic beat from Alchemist, a dope verse from Benny, a solid performance from Rick Hyde, a hype hook from Gun, and a stellar verse from Conway the Machine. The Machine raps customers loyal like Spike Lee. We was selling Madison Squares. Also had a room full of white like Michael Rubin's 4th of July party. Yeah, this was a very strong way to wind the album down, and it does serve as a reminder that the Griselda train is not planning on stopping anytime soon. Then this project comes to a close with Big Timers featuring PZ. Now this has a melodic, hypnotic trap beat from Hit that I already know some won't like because it's trap, but I thought it was cool and it added some variety. You know, Benny and the Griselda guys are street dudes at the end of the day, and they basically make trap-like content as far as subject matter is concerned, so it really shouldn't serve as a surprise when they are doing records with an artist like Peasy. I mean, I personally thought this was a solid track, but I know it won't be for everyone. So overall, I'm going to give this project a rating of 4 mics, possibly something higher. I know it's early, but nothing lower than a 4 for sure. I'd say it met the expectations that I had. I feel it also checked off on quite a few boxes. It had the ideal runtime, honestly, and it was a punchy listen mostly the whole way through. The features were solid, and there were some conceptual songs. There was flow change-ups and stronger hooks from Benny than in the past. And The Alchemist did provide Benny with some of his best instrumentals recently. The Hit-Boy ones did grow on me after a couple more listens, but The Alchemist was clearly the star of the show on the production front. I just feel like Benny does have a little more innate chemistry with The Alchemist than he does with Hit-Boy. but there was nothing wrong with these Hit-Boy beats. I can see this album having some mixed reviews because some might deem it as too commercial, but there are really few commercial, shiny, glossy beats on this thing. I mean, the Hit-Boy beats are kind of rugged for the most part. At the end of the day, it's a very strong Def Jam debut for the Butcher. And I honestly think it's a project that will grow on people throughout the year. I just got a feeling. My favorite tracks include Jermaine's Graduation, Braun, Big Dog, Trust is More Valuable Than Love, One Foot In, Pillow Talk, Slander, How to Rap, and Griselda Express. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Muff. I'm signing out. But as always, it's peace and blessings. Manny the Butcher. Everybody can't go. One.